Hi everyone, welcome back to LL Sports TV. I am your host Laurie, a somber Laurie, and I'm here with my guy Frank. We're going to do a quick, what I call post-mortem, Frank, because I've got to say, watching that game today, Arsenal going down to West Ham at home in a game that they had to win, for me that was comfortably the worst performance of the season from us.
I think you just summed that up perfectly, post-mortem, because that was a deathly performance from Arsenal. I think I said it on my fan cam as well. By far, the worst performance I've seen from Arsenal, probably since we lost to them at home last season. You know, we're going back that far, and you know, this is supposed to be an Arsenal team that are in a Premier League title race, and nothing about what I saw today even indicated that. We looked like the team that was 16th in the table, 8 points off the relegation zone. We looked like we was in that territory, and you know, West Ham, full credit to them. They deserve to win. They deserve to win today, and it's just not good enough from Arsenal.
Yeah, you know what? You're right about that. We should give West Ham some credit. I thought they set the team up well. Graham Potter coming into this game, thinking that going into the game in 6 games in charge since he took over from Lopetegui.
I'm reluctantly giving West Ham praise because I'm a Dagenham boy. For people that
don't
know.
Of course, yeah.
All of my family is West Ham. My boss is a West Ham fan. I'm going to be getting it from all angles about this result. So,
but to be fair to Graham Potter, he set the team out well, and he's actually got a good record against Arteta. The stats show that I think he's won 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 at the Emirates. Yeah. Only Pep and Klopp have won more in the Premier League at the Emirates.
So he certainly knows how to match up against an Arteta team, and he did that today. I thought they set up well, they defended well. They look sharp on the break, they look compact, and you're right, they were the deserved winners. However, as much as I'm giving West Ham credit for that, I can't get away from how bad Arsenal were. Now, 2 things struck me about the performance today. Was this coming? Because we got to be honest and say, when we played Leicester, Arsenal, when we got that win against Leicester last week 2-0, you could say that the performance was nearly as bad. Mm-hmm. But the difference was Leicester are a poor team, and they didn't have anyone that could hurt us, whereas today West Ham did. Or do you just think that we swallowed it? Some people say we've lost our bottle.
I think that's probably a fair judgment. You know, going back to that Leicester game, we only got the win because of a miracle from Marino off the bench. It was not too far off of this performance in terms of the actual over the whole 90, in terms of like player for player, how we played. But the difference today was, like you said, Leicester are a team for me that are 99% they're going down this season, you know, and I really don't know what's happened to Leicester. This is a team that won the league less than 10 years ago. We've got to remember that. And an FA Cup and a Community Shield. But the point is, we should be beating a team like Leicester, and we did. So I can excuse the performance because we got the 3 points on that instance. Today, a 16th place team, again, a team we should be beating. We put in the same level of performance, and this time we didn't even pick up a single point. So I think that was definitely, we got what was coming today, and that's sore to say because once again we've failed to capitalise on Liverpool dropping points, and I think the gap's still now at 8 points, and I now find myself as a Man City fan tomorrow.
The point has been made though that even if Liverpool, in the unlikely event that they do lose tomorrow, which personally I don't think they will, but just say they did. A lot of people, I spoke to White Yardie, 1 or 2 others who spoke to, who was at the game, and they said, listen, even if City beat Liverpool, there's no guarantee we're going to beat Forest. We'll probably lose to Forest. And I can see kind of where they're coming from, because today was that bad that I'm struggling. I can't name you one player for Arsenal today that had a good game.
I see what you mean. I think it doesn't really help us. It does help us in a way, because if City win tomorrow, then we've been let off in a way, essentially, because obviously we've wasted our game in hand. If Liverpool lose tomorrow, we go and beat Forest, then we're essentially on track for where we should have been at the end of today. Again, like you said, I don't think Liverpool are going to lose, and that's the sign of a champion. You know, I said it plenty of times over the last couple of seasons about us winning when you shouldn't really win or aren't expected to win. But you know, Liverpool for me will probably win that. And Nottingham Forest is going to be a much harder game than it has been. You know, Nottingham Forest are a team that came up not too long ago. But the way they're playing under Nuno Espirito Santo, we saw Aston Villa qualify for the Champions League last year. We saw Newcastle qualify for the Champions League last year. honestly, don't put it. I wouldn't put it behind Nottingham Forest to be in at least a European place come the end of the season. So it's going to be a challenge, especially going to their place. They've got strikers. Remember those strikers? Strikers like Chris
I
Wood.
do seem to remember we had some very good strikers once. All of a sudden, we don't seem to have any.
Well, there you go. That ultimately for me. Once again, it comes down to that, and not just that. There was obviously, for me, eyebrows raised at the selection. Calafiori coming in seemingly out of nowhere. I get that we've got Nottingham Forest on Wednesday, but I say it all the time. If it's not broken, don't fix it. You should have started with Miles Lewis-Skelly. I know, obviously, he got the red card.
So he won't play on Wednesday?
He won't play on Wednesday. So now you have to play. Well, I say you have to play Calafiori. I personally would go Ben White on the right and then Timber on the left. I think Timber's so much better on the left. Not that he's not great at right back, but you're limiting your options, and that's unfortunate. But and then the decision to kind of play start Marino up top. I get it. Obviously, coming off the back of scoring 2 goals, it's hard not to start him there. But he made that impact coming off the bench. So for me, you should have just kept him off the bench. You should have started with the midfield, the front three of Wanieri, Sterling, Trossard.
I said that.
And then you should have brought Marino off
because
the bench.
then you've lost that little bit of surprise factor that Mourinho brought to the Leicester game.
Yeah.
It's almost like the West Ham kind of read that situation and kind of had him covered to a large degree today.
There you go. But that's what I said in my fan cam as well. Like I don't blame him today because he was playing like a player that was playing out of position. He's a centre midfielder in a striker position, and I can't blame him for that. It's not his fault.
And let's be honest as well, we have to be fair and say that before the Leicester game, a lot of people were saying the jury was out on him.
Absolutely.
So it's not like he'd been coming into that Leicester game banging form.
Yeah, but my point is, he shouldn't be there in the first place. Obviously, it's unfortunate with Havertz being out for the rest of the season, Jesus being out for the rest of the season. I don't even think we'll see Jesus playing an Arsenal shirt again, in all honesty. But it goes back to this point that we've been raised by Arsenal fans for literally the last 3 years now. Since we signed Jesus, we still haven't got that deadly striker. We had Evan Ferguson come off the bench for West Ham today. You've got, that's a loan. You've got Randall Kolo Muani, who's gone from PSG to Juventus. That's a loan. Are you telling me seriously that we couldn't have attracted Evan Ferguson over West Ham? We couldn't have attracted Randall Kolo Muani over Juventus? There was definitely options out there.
And I'll give you one better than that.
Go on.
We could have put another 20 million on top of the offer. Got Ollie Watkins, who scored twice in the time since we didn't pursue that deal.
There you go. So once again, it comes down to the recruitment, and I think it comes down to a little bit of naivety from Mikel Arteta as well. So it's really frustrating.
I actually felt a little bit sorry for the manager today. But listen, we don't know the ins and outs of what's happening at the club, but it would appear from what I've read and what I've seen that he was desperate to bring a striker in, and we didn't do that. Now, whose fault that is, I don't know. All I know is that we didn't do it. But you could see the look on his face today. He looked crestfallen, I think is the word I would use. He looked despondent. And like a lot of fans, he's probably thinking, we go from here. I mean, it was so bad today that I was actually glad when the final whistle went because we were never going to score. In fact,
I don't think
it was looking like West Ham. If we'd have played another 10 minutes, they would have scored again.
I think you could have played 180 minutes. We wasn't scoring today. No. I think, and this seems to be a pattern specifically against West Ham. 20 shots today, 2 on target, no goals. I remember a situation last season where I think it was 30 shots. We still lost the game.
26.
It's the West Ham curse, I'm going to call it.
No, but we did beat them in the corresponding game this season, 5-2 at their place.
Where was that today? I mean, it's all well and good beating them at their place, but they've come to the Emirates and turned us over now, so it's
Absolutely. It did have the air today of it all falling apart.
Yep.
When you just reach out, so it just looked like today was the day when the dream died. That's how it felt like to me. And listen, I'm normally quite an optimistic person, so I'm going to hope against hope that in a day or two, things start to shift a little bit in your mindset. Players will probably and hopefully start to switch their focus to Forest with a renewed sense of energy. But today, I must admit, when that whistle went, I was like, you know what?
What relief.
It's feeling like it's over. But listen, I hope I'm wrong. Give us some crumbs of comfort for the game on Wednesday, because I'm struggling, man. I'm normally okay with words. I'm struggling today.
I want to give words of comfort, but I think I said, you know, if the positive is it's not mathematically over, and that's what I want the players to remember. Yeah. I don't want a single player in this Arsenal team that thinks it's over. That's not the right mindset you need to have in a title race. If you think that, I don't want you at the club. Looking at Nottingham Forest, I think we're looking at an even harder challenge, because what I've just remembered as well, even when Yeri came off with a knock, we don't know how serious that is. So we could have an even more limited attack, and then what do? It's Sterling, Trossard. Then we might have to go Marino up top again. Maybe we might even have to play Nathan Butler or Yadeji. You know, we're very, very limited.
At this rate, Arteta might have to come out of retirement.
Arteta might have to come out of retirement.
Player manager.
There you go.
But listen, Frank, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And listen, people out there, thank you so much for watching the video. I wish I could sound more optimistic, but it really did feel today like the dream had died. And again, I say that now. Hopefully in the days coming forward, I will shift my energy and my focus, and by Wednesday's game, I'll be singing a very different tune. But as of now, it feels like the title's gone and the dream has died. But listen, thank you very much. Please, if you're new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. We're out.